Trumpism is a political philosophy as much as it is a linguistic philosophy. And I actually think the linguistic philosophy is what enables the political philosophy. And I think I can kind of explain how it works. So my Uncle Dougie is a man in his 80s, and he just cannot stand Trump. And a couple of years ago, this was during Trump's first administration, Dougie was sitting there just fuming at his chair, talking about, getting himself worked up about Trumpists. And he says, if Donald Trump said it was raining on a sunny day, the Trumpers would look out the window and say, yup, it's raining. And I was like, yeah, they would. And then Uncle Dougie goes, and if you said, no, it's not raining, it's sunny, they'd say, well, it's humid outside, and humidity is just like rain. And that's it. That's where the Trumpism is. The Trumpism is not in the, oh, it's raining, when it's actually sunny outside. The Trumpism lies in the, well, humidity is the same thing as rain now. I think other fascisms work in the same way, but what I'm getting at here is, instead of using language to point toward things and describe things in the real world, the Trumpist mind takes words that are already coded as a bad thing and then points to whatever it is that they just don't like that's in the real world and redefines that thing to be the bad thing. The word abortion in the English language just means any medical procedure that stops a pregnancy. But if you listen to conservatives actually talk, they use the word abortion to mean the termination of a pregnancy that they think is morally not justified or they personally don't like. These Republican and conservative women, they don't use the word abortion to describe their D&E or D&Cs. It's not that like there's an invasion at the southern border. It's just for the Trumpists, they're uncomfortable knowing that like no country has full control over who is in and out. They're uncomfortable with the idea of a changing demographic kind of cultural landscape of their country. So when they see people emigrating from South America, they say that's an invasion because for them it feels like invasion. Why do they all call gay people and trans people? It's not because they think that every queer person is out there engaging in a long-term con to start an inappropriate relationship with a minor. It's because for them is just a generic word in the language that they have for a person who is perverted in a sexual way. So because when they look at gay and trans people, they have like this ick, this revulsion, this like emotional outburst inside of them about feeling that that person is wrong or bad, quote unquote, in a sexual way, the word that blurts out of their mouth, that just falls out of their mouth is, you can kind of do this with like most Trumpist talking points. When you actually sit there and analyze the way they speak, they don't use language as a tool to communicate meaning. They use language as a branch of aesthetics to advertise their emotional state or their emotional turmoil. You know, it's been like 10 years of Trumpism, and there's still people like in the professional media that are struggling to understand Trump the way that my Uncle Dougie did right off the bat. They're acting as if the Trumpism is happening in the, they say it's raining when it's actually sunny. They're talking about misinformation and media echo chambers and bubbles. That has nothing to do with anything, right? The Trumpism is happening in the, well, humidity is the same as rain. This thing that we're calling misinformation, it's not actually misinformation. It's mechanisms that they've designed to reinforce the redefining of these words or the reconfiguring of reality in their minds so that reality is reflecting their emotions instead of their emotions reflecting reality.